Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, great Elm Group Incorporated, ticker GEGGL, just dropped an 8K filing, and I'm seeing a familiar pattern when companies in this space release news. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. This report mainly points to a press release, but it confirms a key date for the company and its investors, especially those holding its 7.25% notes due 2027. So what we have here is a current report filed on the 26th of August 2026. It is essentially a heads up to the public about significant company events. In this case, the big news is really tied to a press release issued on the same day. The crucial date here is the 26th of August 2026. This is the day the company is reporting an event, and it is the earliest date for any information in this report. Think of it as the official timestamp for the update. This filing is for Great Elm Group Incorporated. You might know them by their ticker symbols, GEG on the Nasdaq for their common stock and GEGGL for their notes. Looking at what is registered on the exchange, they have their common stock trading under GEG on the Nasdaq. They also have these 7.25% notes due in 2027, which trade under the ticker GEGGL, also on the Nasdaq. This tells us investors can easily trade both their stock and these specific notes. The main point of this report is under item 2.02, which covers results of operations and financial condition. But instead of giving us the numbers directly here, they're telling us that a press release labeled Exhibit 99.1 has all the details. So to really understand the financial story, we need to look at that press release. And that brings us to the exhibits. The most important one is Exhibit 99.1, which is the press release dated the 26th of August 2026. This is where the meat of the financial information and company updates are. Now, if you are trying to keep up with these filings and understand what they truly mean for a company's health, you know it can be a challenge. That is why I want to quickly tell you about Decoder.report. It is a site that distills all the complex data from these reports into clear risk assessments, red flag scans, and trend analysis. You can see how a company ranks on key metrics and track insider activity all in one place. The direct link is in the description and pinned comment below. Let's jump straight back into it. So, focusing on that press release from the 26th of August 2026, it is likely detailing Great Elm Group's performance. Given the news headlines we're seeing around this time, like earnings calls and discussions about their 7.25% notes, this press release probably contains updates on their financial results and perhaps some commentary on their debt situation. The headlines suggest there have been some mixed signals, with one pointing to a significant earnings miss in their Q2 2026 report. This indicates that while they might be active, their profitability hasn't been hitting the mark. The 7.25% notes due 2027 GEGGL are a significant part of Great Elm Group's financial structure. When a company reports earnings, especially if there are concerns about profitability, the market often pays close attention to how this impacts its ability to service its debt. The headlines mention these notes drifting lower and trading subdued near par value. This can be a sign of investor caution, perhaps due to the broader financial performance or specific concerns about the company's ability to meet its obligations. For comparison, think about companies like Bed Bath and Beyond or Rite Aid, where financial struggles eventually put pressure on all their outstanding debt instruments. While GEGGL is not at that critical stage, sustained pressure on the notes could signal underlying business challenges. Looking at the broader picture, Great Elm Group Incorporated seems to be in a phase where operational execution is key. The mention of a wider than expected loss and an EPS miss of over 300% in a previous quarter is a significant red flag. This suggests a disconnect between what analysts were expecting and what the company delivered, pointing to potential issues with cost management or revenue generation. The upcoming Q4 earnings call, as mentioned in a headline, will be critical. Investors will be looking for clear explanations and a solid plan to turn things around. The volatility mentioned in one headline, volatility zones as tactical triggers, indicates that the stock is experiencing price swings, which can be unsettling for investors. This kind of volatility often comes when there is uncertainty about a company's future prospects. In my opinion, Great Elm Group is facing challenges in translating its activities into consistent profitability. The focus on debt, like the 7.25% notes, is understandable. But the core issue seems to be the operational performance highlighted by the earnings misses. What I am actually looking for is a clear path back to sustainable earnings, not just activity. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If you found this analysis valuable, please like, subscribe, and join our Discord.